Hello everyone, want to give a little quick recap on the trading action of WEED today. Another big day of gains, but also pretty recognizable to see the top coming, and we'll go over a step-by-step of how it all played out. Hey everyone, so want to cover back the WEED action that was going on and how we shorter-term traders are navigating the space. Certainly a very profitable 2 days. I had a position that swung over the weekend and added to that position, and I actually have no idea how, but lucked out big time where I was filled with TWMJF, which is the US ticker. I was filled within 1 penny of the low of the day on Friday. And then on Monday, I was filled within 2 pennies of the low of the day right at the open. So I have no idea how I lucked out like that. Definitely luck is the right word, but was able to benefit from this big move and end, the month of October with the biggest stock gains of the year. So huge move up, but today was a day for profit taking in my opinion, and we'll zoom in to just what we were looking at, and it was the 5-minute time frame. So I'll go over really my mindset as to what was playing out. And let's start it off with the open right here. So we had a strong open, and I personally took profit too early. That doesn't mean it's game over for me, because that means I have cash where I can rebuy when I'm more comfortable. So I personally took profit. Again, when I'm staring those kind of gains in the face after 2 days, it's really hard for me to let them ride because I want to lock that in and make that real. Until you sell, it's not real profits. So I did sell early on this initial pullback, and I sold at about in the 1570s here. And we pulled back, and then as soon as we saw a continuation to the upside, I knew that I had made a mistake and that I was missing out on profit. So I then started calculating how I was going to re-enter my position as the bulls had further follow through, and I entered a position based on this consolidation right here. So what we were looking at is a lower high, lower low pattern. And I started switching to the 2-minute time frame, because whenever you're really volatile, if you switch to the 2-minute time frame, you get a lot more information as to what's going on. So I was looking at the 2-minute time frame and seeing a lower high, lower low pattern on this consolidation, and I was saying, okay, I'm going to re-enter my position in WEED if I see a break of this lower high pattern. So I was looking at the 5-minute time frame and the 2-minute time frame, and on the 5-minute time frame, let's go back to where we were here, we had a double top at 1615. So here was a bounce attempt. We pulled back. Here's a bounce attempt where we rejected 1615. 1615 was a top again, and then we hit a lower low. So that's a lower high and then a lower low, and then we formed a base of support at 1581. We topped out at 1612, still a lower high. Pulled back, there's our higher low. As soon as we broke 1615, I'm back in the trade, because that shows me a break from lower highs and lower lows to then a higher low and then a higher high by getting over 1615. So I'm back in now, and I'm holding, loving the action, loving the bull momentum and follow through. So I left money on the table absolutely on this move. Let's see, I sold 1570s, and I got back in 16, let's say. So that's a total left on the table of, let's call it 36 cents. So then we continued to the upside with higher lows and higher highs, really loving this trade. And as soon as we started getting right around here, I started posting in the chat room about being cautious. Okay, we need to keep this higher low pattern on the 5-minute time frame to remain comfortable when you've seen 33% gains in 2 days. So here's our higher low at 1660, higher low at 1682, higher low at 1686. As soon as 1686 broke, I was out of the trade. And this is the candlestick that I exited on. And we had a lot of people in the chat room exiting there as well. Another thing that was going on in my mind as to why I was looking to lock in profit and protect my position is how this run played out. Look at yesterday's action. Yesterday, we saw 5 minutes of bull action. We consolidated the entire morning and afternoon, and then the bulls showed up with momentum in their favor at the end of the day. In this scenario, we were bullish all day. So here we are at the highs up around $17, and it's only 2 p.m. Eastern. And I'm saying to myself, we still have 2 hours of trading to go. There is no way that the bulls can keep this up and close with momentum in their favor. And I'm going to be looking for profit taking because of that scenario. Had we had consolidated more long-term and drawn out and saw this bull break here from, mid-16s to 17 later in the day, it would have been a completely different story. But because there were 2 hours left in the day and we were getting a little toppy here, that I was very cautious and quickly locking in my profit. So I left 36 cents on the table on the way up. I exited here in the 1680s, the mid-1680s, and then I sat cash. And that obviously paid off for itself, leaving 36 cents on the way up to protect my trade. I protected my trade again, and here we stand now at the end of the day, closing 1618, and I have to get 36 cents below 1686. So if I enter at 1650, it's pretty much like I never sold early, and now I'm going to be able to sell for more or rebuy for more shares on anything under 1650, and that's going to show that trading benefited that position. So the bear break occurred, and there was another 2-minute pattern that let us know, okay, that's it. Bulls are done for the day. So the first red flag was all that bear volume on the break of the higher lows. This is a lot of us taking profit from the chat room. We then had the 2-minute equilibrium pattern form. High of the bounce, higher low, lower high, higher low, a double bottom at 1657. As soon as 1657 broke, that's it. Game over. Bulls are done for the day. Lower highs and lower lows, a lot of pullback. We then had an oversold bounce opportunity at 16. The 5-minute RSI got oversold. So in the chat room, again, just constantly all of us interacting with each other saying, there's going to be a bounce here before the end of the day. Watch the 5-minute oversold RSI. Watch $16 psychological support. We bounced off of 1602. One of our members actually had a 1602 order that was filled, and then we bounced very quickly up to 1643. We're just looking for a short-term bounce. That's a 2.5% gain in 5 minutes, and it's fighting a downtrend now. So locking in that short-term gain, I personally did not make that trade. I had too much going on, but others did and locked it in before another lower low was hit. Bulls tried to recover at the end of the day, but it wasn't very significant. So where we stand going into tomorrow, I'm looking for an hourly equilibrium pattern. If we can hold 1576, the low of consolidation, in the first half an hour of trading tomorrow, I'll look for an equilibrium pattern to form where we will look for a bull move. I'll look for a lower high compared to 1707, and then we'll look to consolidate and form a higher low compared to 1576. If we break 1576 first thing in the morning, the bears are taking back control, and after 1576, the next level I'm looking at is going to be down at 1551, and then the low of the day of 1529. So that is the game plan. Again, everybody that's not familiar with technical analysis thinks we're predicting things. I did not predict one thing on my trading day today. I was reacting. I was not predicting. I was reacting to the prices. I reacted to overbought conditions, in my opinion, and I got out too early. I reacted to a bull break and a re-entry. I reacted to a break of the higher low patterns. I didn't predict that the higher lows were going to break. I said, I don't think the bulls can keep this up, but I'm not going to sell my position unless I see reason to, and that break of the higher low pattern was the reason to. So again, we're not predicting things. We are reacting to the price action. We're reacting to higher lows and higher highs, and it allowed for a lot of profit taking for the Chart Guys members in the 1680s, and now we will look to reload. Whether we're going to reload tomorrow or next week, that remains to be seen. We're taking it one day at a time, and price action is going to dictate our decisions.